My mother's roses had their own songs, and I never asked what they were. Let me tell you something about my mother's garden back in Jamaica that'll make you understand why people talked about it for years. This woman had rose bushes everywhere. And I'm not talking about a cute little collection. I'm talking about an entire section of the yard dedicated to roses. Rose bushes that exploded in every color you can imagine. Deep crimson reds, soft baby pinks, butter yellows, pure whites. Some with petals so smooth and velvety you wanted to touch your face to them. Others ruffled and fancy like they were dressed for church. Some pointed and dramatic. Others soft and plump like they were full of secrets. Do you know how much work that is in the Jamaican heat? Do you know how extra that is? But here's the thing about my mother. She didn't do anything halfway. Red, pink, yellow, white, showing their unique textures. And every single morning, before the sun got too hot, she'd be out here humming. This low, continuous hum that would drift from bush to bush as she moved through her rose garden. Now here's where it gets interesting, and my siblings will back me up on this. That hum would change depending on which roses she was tending. The red roses? They got this deep, soulful hum, almost like old Motown was playing in her head. Maybe Marvin Gaye, maybe Aretha, something with soul. The pink ones? The hum got softer, sweeter. Church music for sure. Maybe a hymn, maybe something from the Jamaican hymnal she knew by heart. And the yellow roses, her absolute favorites. They got this bright, upbeat melody, like sunshine had a sound, like joy decided to become a song. I never knew the actual songs. She never sang the words, just hummed. And I was too young, too busy, too wrapped up in my own world to ask. And now I'll never know. So this is me, imagining, guessing, trying to figure out what melodies were in her head while she tended those roses in Jamaica. What songs made her hum in different keys for different colors? What music lived in her heart while her hands worked in that Caribbean heat? Now, you might be thinking, girl, how do you know the hum changed if she never told you the songs? Because I listened. Because I paid attention even when I didn't realize I was paying attention. When she was at the red roses, that hum had bass to it. You could feel it in your chest. I'd be inside doing homework, and I'd hear that deep hum and know exactly which part of the garden she was in. These roses, they got her grown woman, I've been through some things energy. But over here with the pink ones, the hum got gentler, higher, almost like a lullaby. And isn't that the thing about roses? They're not delicate. They've got thorns for a reason. They'll cut you if you come at them wrong. But if you understand what they need, if you hum the right melody while you tend them, they'll give you beauty that makes you forget every scratch you ever got. She'd be out here every morning, 6 a.m., tea in one hand, pruning shears in the other, humming, always humming. Looking back now, that humming was the sound of freedom, the only place she didn't have to use her words, didn't have to explain herself, didn't have to be anything for anybody. Out here, she could just be and hum and let the roses understand her in ways people never did. My mother worked 2 jobs most of my childhood. She was tired, always tired, but she'd still get up before dawn to be with her roses. I didn't understand it then. I thought it was obsessive. I thought she should be resting, not out here singing to plants. But now I get it. These roses were the only things in her life that she had complete control over. Nobody could tell her how to prune them. Nobody could criticize her choices. Nobody could make her feel small. Out here, she was the boss, the queen, the master gardener. And those songs? They weren't for the roses, not really. They were for her. They were her way of reminding herself that she was still creative, still powerful, still capable of making something beautiful, even when everything else in life was hard. Every bloom was proof that she still had it, that she could still make miracles happen. So now, I imagine what she was humming to those yellow roses, her favorites. I think it was, "Here Comes the Sun." I have no proof, she never told me. But something about the way that hum would lift when she got to these bushes, it sounded like hope, like light, like joy after a long, hard week. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was something completely different. A song from her childhood in Jamaica. A hymn I never learned. A melody she made up on the spot. But this is what I choose to believe she was humming. Because when I hum it now, while I tend the roses she planted, it feels right. It feels like her. And you know what's wild? These roses still bloom. 20 years later, some of these original bushes are still here, still giving flowers, stubborn, just like her. So I hum to them, my version of what I think she was humming. And maybe they remember, maybe they know, or maybe I just need to believe they do. Here's what my mother's rose garden taught me. 1. Beauty requires thorns. You can't have one without the other. 2. Different things need different care. What works for a red rose won't work for a white one, and that's okay. 3. You've got to make space for the things that make you bloom, even if, especially if, nobody else understands why you need it. My mother didn't garden to feed us. We had vegetables for that. She grew roses because they fed her soul. And in a world that was constantly trying to drain her, she needed that. We all do. So the next time somebody tells you that your hobby is too much, or a waste of time, or impractical, think about my mother and her rose bushes and the wordless melodies she hummed to each one. Melodies I never got to know, songs I have to imagine now. But you know what? Maybe that's the point. Maybe she wasn't trying to pass down specific songs. Maybe she was teaching me that I need to find my own, create my own soundtrack, hum my own melodies while I work. So that's what I'm doing. That's what this is. Me, imagining the songs my mother never sang out loud, creating the soundtrack she left unfinished. And if you're out here missing somebody who hummed while they worked, who had their own wordless songs, find your version. Hum what you think they were humming. Make up the melodies if you have to. Because that's how we keep them alive. That's how their gardens keep growing. Oh, and if you've got a guess about what your people were humming in their gardens, drop it in the comments. Let's build our mother's lost soundtrack together. I think they'd like that.
Golden light spills on the sill. The world is waking soft and still. A quiet promise in the air, chasing shadows from the stair. Oh, you're the color of the morning sky, a velvet rose I'm holding high. Sill. A quiet strength, a cup of milk. Each layer holds a different hue.